Forbes India Small Business Summit, presented by PhonePe Payment Gateway.
You are not just the Principal Secretary, Planning, Food and Civil Supplies, Consumer Affairs. You're also the nodal officer for $1 trillion economy in Uttar Pradesh, which is no small feat. I'm very intrigued to understand if you have work-life balance. I'm sure you don't. But first of all, UP's role in MSMEs movement towards dreaming this 1 trillion state economy by 2027, ये बहुत भारी भरकम लॉफ्टी गोल है, लेकिन इसकी तरफ काम भी बहुत हो रहा है. You're already on top 3 में यूपी already है, लेकिन ऐसा और क्या हो सकता है आने वाले समय में जिसमें potentially हम देख रहे हैं कि we can pivot the acceleration of the business.
So thank you, Mukta ji. Thank you so much, and to the esteemed audience also. I guess you all know that our Honorable Chief Minister has taken this very, very onerous task of turning our state into a $1 trillion economy. This is a very, very challenging task, and all different sectors, be it agriculture, industry, including MSME, tourism. Everyone is trying their best, and we have a strategy for all those sectors. We have made certain strategy, and we are working on those strategy. It is also that this strategy is not very static; it is dynamic, and we are constantly trying to change our strategy depending upon the changing scenario. So MSME, coming to MSME, of course, this is the backbone of UP, and if UP has to grow, of course, MSME will have to deliver. And talking about MSME, we know that in our state, we have about 96 lakh MSME units in India, and this is the largest, about 15% of the entire country. But when we talk about MSME, then we must also know that more than 95% of this is very, very micro enterprises. And I was looking at the figure, not even 1% of this is medium enterprises. But when it comes to employment, this is contributing to about 1.65 crores of the employment. And again, MSME in itself contributes about 50% of the manufacturing sector contribution in our gross domestic product. And nearly 46% of the export is also coming from MSME. So when we know over last 5 years, our exports have doubled. So this is thanks to MSME, and all those who are sitting here, they must have contributed to this big jump which has taken place in export. And again, not only export, overall economy has also grown over last 3-4 years. We have grown above national average. So this is a very good beginning, and we hope that we will sustain this for next 5 years, and MSME will have to play a very major role in this.
सर हम पिछले पैनल्स में बात कर रहे थे दैट इवन दो आत्मनिर्भर भारत PLI ये तमाम स्कीम्स जो हैं इन्होंने बहुत पुश किया है बिजनेस को. But having said that, there have been regulatory frameworks, there have been schemes that some have worked, some have not worked. In your experience, and it can be a candid answer, which ones did you feel really had a major role? I do know about the ODOP, Common Facility Center scheme, that did very well. If you were to review them, which of them have been game changers?
I would say that the ODOP in itself, ODOP was a very new idea, and UP has been the pioneer in conceptualizing this concept of ODOP. Through ODOP, we know that we will have to, for growing MSME, will have to go to cluster-based approach.
Right.
And ODOP provided that platform for that approach. And ODOP is not just there are different components to ODOP, and Common Facility Center as you have mentioned. It is one of the that facility. But apart from that, we are supporting artisans in participating in international and national fairs also, so that they can know more about the global market and they can get themselves connected to the
There's
global
one
market.
going to happen soon, the trade fair. the big
International
trade
trade fair is part of it, but
Yeah.
other than that also, like for some individuals, if they want to participate in their particular,
All right.
yes, international fair related to their trade or related to their product, so that also can be funded through ODOPS schemes.
Noted.
We have like other training programs in ODOP. So these have all been the game changer, I would say, not only one thing. And the biggest thing is that the ecosystem which has changed, like the law and order and the other things, those enablers have also contributed a lot of positive
Of course,
things.
yes. The kind of changes in infrastructure seen in the last 2-3 years have been
Expressway, like,
phenomenal.
of course, like expressways,
Absolutely.
if we, like for MSME to grow, like expressway is going to play a major part. And apart from Ganga Expressway, you might be knowing, apart from Ganga Expressway also, there would be a number of expressways which would be coming in UP over next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, in fact, even the digitally connected pledge parks. I was reading about the Rani Lakshmibai Park in Jhansi and initiatives like that, where you're seeing small towns also have bigger trade and support centers. Having said that, a lot of the traditional businesses here are very deep-rooted in their traditional practices. There are locals that are working with local knowledge, and there is a gap while integrating with modern technology. How do you foresee that happening? And because there is a little bit of a gap that needs to be bridged. What are some of the
But
things
we will
that
have
can
to,
be
like,
done?
as you said, we will have to maintain a balance between the traditional knowledge and the cultural aspect of it and the modern technology. Because, like, they will have to adapt to the modern technology and the quality controls also. Because our artisans, they may be very talented, but when it comes to, like, there are many things which they will need to learn. As you were talking about digital transformation, how to maximize the gains through this digital platform, the opportunities which have been provided through ONDC and other e-commerce platform. So, like, we want that our artisans, through like hand-holding, through our DICs, and we want to make sure that they are continuously improving their quality, and also, like, they are provided access to the market and other things. So in doing those things, we will have to maintain a fine balance between the traditional knowledge and the cultural aspect which they are having, and the demand of the newer technology.
हम एक और बड़ी चीज़ को भी एड्रेस करना चाह रहे थे यहाँ पर, which is the skill gap.
Yes.
Population is 24 crores. 56% of the population is working age group. We do have 67 universities, 370 polytechnic state colleges, over 5,000 colleges. Having said that, there still is a huge amount of working professionals or the working population that is coming into the market with the skilled mindset. ये प्रॉब्लम यूपी की ही नहीं है, सभी जगह की है, जहाँ पर एम्प्लॉयबिलिटी फैक्टर पे पढ़े लिखे भी जो हैं वो नहीं फिट हो रहे हैं. तो ये जो स्किल गैप है, और दैट स्किल गैप सर इज इंक्रीजिंग डे बाय डे विद डिजिटल ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन, विद टेक adaptation. Are there enough and more avenues to reskill this population? Because obviously they're not coming extremely skilled from the institutions that they are studying at.
As you have rightly said, that you have also answered part of this question, re-skilling. And so, like, the gap hai, the gap is from the artisan side.
Right.
Wahan pe bhi there is a gap in skilling. And when it comes to the, like, there are representative from MSMEs. And when it comes to, like, employing, then there is a gap also. Like, there is a gap between the demand and what exactly is required by MSMEs, like a small, and when I'm talking about, here I'm talking about a small and medium enterprises.
Right.
What exactly they are looking from ITIs, pass-outs, polytechnic pass-outs. So there is, of course, a gap. Like, jo aaj ke date mein, like, through this, every day the technology is changing. So we'll have to keep skilling and re-skilling and like there has to be upgradation of skilling. So iske liye like ITIs and polytechnics, we every year we are coming up with new courses. Even through our skill development mission. Now it's not just traditional silai kadai or stitching and all those things. We have come up with many of those skills which can be called a new age skills. So not only through like short-term training programs in a skill development mission, also in ITI, polytechnics, and degree colleges.
Right.
We have like we have introduced courses in drone technology, other Internet of Things, and whatever the demand is coming from the industry side. So we are continuously trying to match that gap between the demand from the MSME side and the what is being supplied through this these institutions. So one is that part, and the other thing is there is that skill gap, which you may like that can also be considered as a skill gap. That is for those artisans. Like as we mentioned that to leverage the opportunities provided by these e-commerce platforms and other things, they have to be like properly skilled because you know when we also talk about export, like every day we are getting feedback from different districts. Like we have, as part of like IS service, we have been in many districts. So जब हम लोग बात करते हैं, there are very few exporters. I've been to Saharanpur, Kanpur, Aligarh. तो वहाँ पे ऐसा होता है कि like there are very few exporters who are exporting. Why is it so? Why is it not that everyone is exporting? So there is a gap because like not everyone knows that what are those regulations
Right.
and what are those certification requirements which have to be fulfilled so that most of them, those who can really like export,
Easily,
like
do it
So we are also trying to bridge that skill gap through our district facilitation center, which will come in all 75 districts. So through that, there will be a systematic channel, there will be an institutional arrangement where we'll be trying to skill everyone so that they can maximize the opportunities through like exporting it and other things. Like.
सर पिछले पैनल्स में दो बड़े सवाल जो थे वो इस चीज़ को लेकर थे कि जो ये एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव और रेगुलेटरी चेंजेस होते हैं जो उनमें रिलेटेड चैलेंजेस हैं उनको कैसे एड्रेस किया जाए प्राइमरली व्हेन वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द काइंड ऑफ the tax regime or the kind of single window system, but it still has its challenges. Is there a way of redressal? Do we have enough and more opportunities where MSMEs come and are able to tell you that this is what we are struggling with and we need help with, and perhaps this is not working for us, and what is the way out? But what are some of those challenges that you at your end are also facing when you're interacting with the MSME stakeholders?
एक तो there is a constant feedback channel, like जहाँ पर कि MSME can share that what exactly do they want and where exactly they are facing the hurdles. So like Udyog Bandhu, we know कि हाँ Udyog Bandhu is one of those channels जहाँ पर कि काफ़ी मतलब useful conversations और जो वो grievances है उनका redressal होता है. We know कि highest level पे state level पे भी chief secretary and IIDC they are also holding meetings with industry representatives and trying to make sure कि जो भी जैसा आपने बताया कि if there is some regulation which has come which is a hurdle in the development, then we are trying to resolve those issues. और continuously आपने देखा होगा कि हाँ ease of doing business कभी भी ये focus में नहीं था. What is the ease of doing business? जब first time word आया तो हमने भी first time सुना होगा, आप लोगों ने भी I don't know मतलब तो कई चीज़ें उसके within that ease of doing business कई ऐसे obsolete जो restrictions थे उनको ख़त्म किया गया. We are trying to merge कई तरह के जो permissions होते हैं उन सबको how to bring those into a single permission.
Correct.
तो इस तरह से कई चीज़ें की गई हैं different regulations वगैरह को we are doing away with those acts regulation. I know कि this is not like the perfect world and we will continuously we'll keep on evolving and improvising ourselves. So
right. Let me shift gears a little and talk about the UP startup policy. Traditionally, we have seen that, startups have been growing down south or towards Delhi, Gurgaon, that belt. But, in the last couple of years, we have also seen a lot of younger startups with the traditionally rooted businesses coming out of UP. Tell us a little about the startup policy and how is it creating a more digitally connected society within within the ambit of MSMEs.
Uh, like coming to startups, जब हम लोग figure देखते हैं तो number of registered startups we are like we are among top 2-3. But when it comes to like those kind of startups,
quantifying the business that they are doing,
and
yeah.
getting funding from AIFs and really like
Yeah,
getting
the
up the
giants.
ladder, the becoming like giant, like by becoming unicorn. Then of course we all are here. We are residents of UP, so we know that there is much more desired at that level. So through UP startup policy, through various schemes, being like a nodal officer of 1 trillion, I know that if we have to deliver something, then our startups have to reach up to that level. So उसके लिए like through a startup policy, कई तरह की चीज़ें हम लोगों ने पहले उसमें नहीं थी, उसको हम लोगों ने introduce किया है, like prototype development और patent के लिए there is a support for getting patent also. उसमें फिर जो next level अभी जो UP startup policy है उसमें there is like for beginners we are supporting and we are hand-holding, we are giving them sustenance allowance, we are giving them other kind of subsidies. But when they reach up to a certain level and when they are going to the market for accessing credit, then at that time also, we are always there, we are hand-holding them. We have a particular like UP government has set up a fund where there is a we have earmarked 1,000 crore rupees of fund, but that is not, it's not the upper limit. Like we can go and we can go beyond this 1,000 crore limit also, where we are supporting these AIFs and through SIDBI, we are funding these AIFs so that they in turn fund startups. Apart from this, also there is a fund of funds in central government, which is again like being managed by SIDBI. So every month we are looking very carefully that how many of our startups have got funding through AIFs. What are the challenges which they face?
Right.
Why are they not being picked up by AIFs? So like this is all there, and we along like all of you, we need to make sure that our startups be it in where exactly they are lacking. Are they lacking in their technological input, technological ideas, or whatsoever? We need to handle them. And like to begin with this, we have established incubator in all our engineering colleges. We have incubators. Like some of you who have worked with technical institutions, they would know that in incubator field over last 5 years, we are continuously trying to ensure that every division has one incubator, be it agricultural university also. We are setting up, and we are not limiting ourselves to just like industry on other things, food processing. As you know, like we are agricultural, one of the most richest state. So if we can promote some of the startups in agriculture, in food processing industry also, then it will help.
सर एक आखिरी सवाल आपने सिडबी की बात करी but one of the reports that I can quote here from SIDBI is that nearly 60% of MSMEs in UP are struggling to secure adequate finance due to stringent lending norms and lack of collaterals. ये समस्या कैसे हल की जाएगी? हालांकि ये बाकी और states में भी हम देख रहे हैं MSMEs में finance का एक issue तो है ही, and it has, whether it is coming from the non-structured markets or disorganized finance. How do we tackle this issue?
As you know, like those. Many of you would know that in our annual credit plan, particularly for MSME, we have the targets over last 2 to 3 years. Whatever target we are setting, we are surpassing those targets, and we are achieving around 150% of the annual credit plan. We are achieving towards MSME, and our like total advances to MSME. This has really grown. And I continuously keep a watch over like where exactly are we going. So like at present, our total annual lending is about 2 lakh crore to MSMEs. So you are perfectly right. It is not that they don't face hurdles in getting access to the credit. And access to the credit is apart from like access to technology and access to market. Access to credit we have identified as one of the major hurdles, and we will have to ensure that they are provided enough access to credit. But as I was mentioning that banks have also partnered very well, and through like ensuring that they get good credit. And apart from that, they have many schemes which have, as you were asking, like there is one new scheme, CM Yuva. I guess some of you would have heard of it. Here we are targeting 1 lakh entrepreneurs every year. And this would be just very like micro enterprises, and the government would be providing interest-free loan to of up to 5 lakh amount for like 1 lakh youth. And this will be continuously for next 10 years. Of course, we will be, if required, we will be again like increasing this number. So CM UA is there. Again, there is a CGTMSA scheme where we are providing collateral up to 75% of the guarantee is being provided by the central government. And here again, like state government is also contemplating this thing that we will be topping up also. So there are multiple number of schemes which are being, some of these have already been executed, and some of these are being under process, so that more and more the access to credit should not become a hurdle.
Well, thank you, sir. Thank you so much for this wonderful, candid interaction. And you have a big job as the nodal officer for the 1 trillion economy of Uttar Pradesh. I wish you all the very best for that as well.
Thank you, Muktaji. And I guess I have like some of the policies I would have dealt, but there are other number of multiple policies and other initiatives which the government is taking for furthering this MSME thing. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Forbes India Small Business Summit, presented by PhonePe Payment Gateway.